I am sure sports. You know me there. I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right, good morning. Viewers and subscribers to I Am Sure Sports. I am Manningsman. Hope you're having a top morning, one and all. Good to see you, right? Good to be here again this morning with you. We have this is one of the, what I'll call, this will be a generational classic show. Very important show this is going to be. I'm going to share some very profound things and ask for some very impactful input into a way forward. We are always eager in identifying problems, but part of our duty is to also seek to provide reasonable solutions. And so every time we speak of a problem at the highest level of leadership, we also speak about what can we do to bring change. And so I want to propose some of that. I'm a proponent of being involved in the change you want to see and adding value to the things that are not right so that they can be better. And so the intent of this video today is to continue on a discussion that we had previously, that I want to say to you, there are things already in motion. It is amazing how when we speak about things and how we seek to address concerns and matters, people are just eager to be engaged in a process of change. So there is a mobilizing of past players in the United Kingdom and in North America, which is a first step to the process of adding greater value to the football product in Jamaica at the national level, which will in turn have an impact at the grassroots level. If we can add value to the leadership structure and the football itself, then it will spread throughout our society and bring meaningful change. So we had a recent discussion about the the involvement of the diaspora, and that, I must say, is gathering momentum. And of course, we understand that there's a need. We don't want to usurp the authority, and so we stand ready to assist and to help. Again, none of this is man idea. It is not from I Am Sure Sports platform. All that is happening is the collective effort of you, the viewers and subscribers, local and international, who have continually had these kind of discussion. From the vloggers to mainstream medias to newspaper to just the common man out there in the street, all of us have added our voice, crying out for a need to change the footballing landscape. And why? Because we know that the biggest enemy of great is good. And many people settle for what is good instead of striving for what is great. And there is a book by Jim Collins, and he speaks, they call it Good to Great. And he speaks about the 5 qualities, what you call level 5 leaders, leadership at the highest level. And he says one of them is a personal sense of humility. He says a deep personal understanding of one's strengths and weaknesses, a laser-like focus on the organization's purpose, a passionate commitment to continuous learning, and a relentless determination to do what is right and not what is easy. And I want to leave those 5 things out there to those who lead our football. For this thing to change, you have to have a personal sense of humility. You have to have a deep and personal understanding of your strengths and your weaknesses as an individual and as a governing body. You also need to have a laser-like focus on the organization purpose or the organization vision. What is the long-term vision of the Jamaica Football Federation or football? What is your preferred picture of Jamaica's football? What do you want to see? Because without a vision, people perish, And then there's also encouragement to write the vision down and make it plain, so the people who read it can understand it and run with it. So you have to have a clear vision that is clearly articulated and understood by the people who will participate in the manifestation of that vision. You understand me? Then, and the 4th thing is that you must have a passionate commitment to learning, meaning you don't know everything. You don't know everything. I don't matter what degree you have. I don't matter how many offices you have held in your life. None of us know all things. There's only one omniscient, and it's not a human being, is the creator of all things. So all of us have an inadequacy in some area of learning. The final thing and the 5th thing is you must, beginning today, have a relentless determination to do what is right and not what is easy. To do what is right and not what is easy. Always. So to the leaders of our federation, we charge you with these things, that it starts with you. It starts with you, right? So we are doing what we can do. The people are buying jerseys. I hope you see that. The people are planning on supporting the team by going to the game. We're forming committees as individuals to raise resources, to connect players, and to support in whatever way we can. But you have a responsibility, because at the end of the day, if it fails, it's not on us, it's on you. It's on you. I'm not here to beat you down. I'm here to speak the truth and to speak it in love with one purpose. Football helped me, but I've had my own share of disappointments up to recent times, just how football administratively operate. And I could come out and speak about things that are happening locally right now in the football that ought not to happen. But I refuse to do that because I want to paint a better picture of what our future should look like as a serious footballing nation. We have to do better than we are, And we can do better than we are presently doing. We can. We can. If Usain St. Leo Bolt of Jamaica can have the record as the fastest man from this island with all our shortcomings and stuff, then we can do better in football. We have some of the fastest ladies in the world living on this island. We can do better. They have the same struggles and challenges that football have. So we can do better. So today, we want to, because all we can do, people, is to talk and hope the powers that be listen and pick sense out of nonsense. Because not everything we say is, we don't have a franchise on the right ideas. We just have some ideas. And I know for most of the people, even the ones who are the most upset on these platforms, when they speak, they don't speak because they want to see football die in Jamaica. They speak because they want to see football better in Jamaica. All right? So we're not here to insist. We are here to assist. But one thing I know, whenever the people get tired, they rise up. When they rise up, the masses are always more powerful than the organizations, the boards and the bodies that run anything at all. The masses have a greater voice. So listen to the masses and walk in humility. Now, like I said, the wheel is in motion. Let me say also condolences to Frank Brown. He passed recently. I mean, good coach, Dintil, Excelsior, worked with the national program. He passed recently. And our deepest condolences to him and his entire family. And I hope this gives it was good to see the Premier League players all having on black on their sleeves, acknowledging, the passing of one of the great ones. And later in the show, if you knew Frank Brown, you had a relationship with him, we are going to open the line so you can, you can chime in and share your experience with him and pay a tribute to one of the great ones. Now, again, let me give you some update because I did a video recently. So let me give you some update. Already, past players are coming together. They are coming together, and I don't want the JFF to feel certain by this. They're not coming together because they want to lead the JFF. Past players are coming together because they want to see better football and they want to help. All right? So they're both in England and Jamaica, contacts have been made and they are ready to work to bring change. They are putting together groups of people to work as the needs be in ensuring that every person who has Jamaican heritage at least know that there is the possibility of representing Jamaica. Every person. If you live in Costa Rica, if you live in Honduras, if you live in Panama, if you live in Canada, the United States, Scotland, Holland, England, wherever you live, these past players are coming together to make sure that you know, and if you want to, you have an opportunity. As long as you are good enough, you have the same opportunity as any other Jamaican. I want you to know that. I also want the players who are presently playing in our local leagues to not feel threatened or to believe like if your brothers and sisters, because this is male and female, who reside outside the shore want to represent the country, it's going to stop you. It will only enhance you. I've never seen anything in life where better things are added to it and it gets worse. Every time you add better to something consistently, it gets better. So if continually better players play for our nation, represent Jamaica, then Jamaica's football will ultimately get better. And if football gets better, it will be better for all of us, including you. Now, I will tell you this. You may not reap the immediate reward, but your grandson, your great-grand, your granddaughter will reap the rewards. So don't be discouraged when you hear we talk about the other Jamaicans living outside of the geographical borders of Jamaica. Truthfully, the leadership of our country, their first priority as a sovereign nation, is to protect the citizens within the geographical borders. They have a primary responsibility for them. So obviously, the government will along with our sporting bodies, will need to ensure that those locally are taken care of. But there's a next set of Jamaicans that though they may not be responsible for them because they live under other jurisdiction, they also have a responsibility to them to ensure that they feel as Jamaican as the man who live inside of the geographical borders of Jamaica. So where is Manningsman going? You saw my thumbnail, and there are many more. These are just some of the names of players that some we have heard and confirmed that they can represent Jamaica based on their heritage. All of these players you see on the thumbnail and more play in the English Premier League. And I put it to you that at this time, the English Premier League is the most competitive league, club league, globally at this present time. The English Premier League is the most competitive league. It may not be the highest in terms of technical quality, but in terms of the top players, top coaches, and most competitive, I believe it holds that. You can tell because they have Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Tottenham in the quarterfinals. Look like all four could possibly advance to the round of 8. And that's an indication of how good the league is. In the Europa League, they have Arsenal and they have Manchester United. All right? So, let me say that. So, these players on the thumbnail, you see some of them, you see some of the names. Right? You have seen some of the names. You see Max Aarons, Norwich player. You see Reece Oxford was at West Ham, plays in Germany now. Mason Holgate, Ben Godfrey, Nathan Ferguson, Tyreek Mitchell, Kyle Walker-Peters, Dwight McNeil is also there in the picture. that you're seeing, Mason Greenwood, is also in the picture that you're seeing. These players, from what I've heard, James Justin also is in the picture, and he's of Leicester City. These players, let me say it again, I cannot put up all the players. All right? I cannot. If I were to put up all the players, there would not be enough space on the thumbnail to hold all the players. I just chose to put up some players. For the purpose, I'm going to get to it. So just you have to listen to me first, and then I will invite you to come and share. All right? All of these players, at some time, we heard, right? And many others, let me say that again, and many others, let me say it again. These players that you see and many others, we would not have, like, we could spend one show just calling names from the Premier League all the way down to the League Two. And then we start again and go through the academies. And that is just calling names, and that would be an entire show by itself. That's the amount of players. So we will have, and what I'm going to do is that as we get, we're going to have some other persons to come on and share some names. All right? So just understand that. Now, some of these players have played friendly games. Some have played 2 games. Some have played 1 game. All right? So they either still can, or here's the truth, they were able to until they were kept, having played 3 games by England. Now, there is a responsibility on the Jamaica Football Federation to ensure that as much as they are able to, they know all of the players and get connected to all of them by creating a database. We know that that is non-existent at this time. So we know that they probably have lists sent to them from persons who operate in this YouTube space with several names, and I doubt that they have contacted most of them or even looked at them. So we have past players now mobilizing themselves in England, and we have some in the United States. That's happening as we speak because they want to be a part of the plan. So what is my challenge? People, we have challenged the JFF and they have made some changes. A lot more needs to happen. Lot more needs to happen. The coach is here. The committees are being formed. The committees are being formed that are ready to help. People have already indicated an interest that they are ready. Once there is a foundation, once there is an organization, they will put money in that can be managed by the same diaspora committee that can go back into helping with camps and scouting platforms and scouting opportunities or training opportunities in the different spaces for player identification. All right? The key thing we must understand is that the full authority of players selected lies solely in the hand of the head coach. So I am not here, and none of us should ever believe that we should tell a coach who should be in the team or who should be selected. We don't have that space in the coaching hierarchy to dialogue with our head coach that way, who is the consummate professional. So we are here to identify talent, not to select them for the national team. They are identified in a big, broad pool, and the coach throws his intelligent hook and line and pull up. And if he pulls up one that he doesn't like, he puts him back in the pool and pull up a next one. That is solely the responsibility of Coach Hymir Hallgrimsson. It means that we may identify over 100 players, hypothetically speaking. And out of that, the coach will dip in and take out based on game he's going to play, the style he wants to play. The coach could one day decide that, listen, I'm going to play Kemar Roof. I'm not going to call Mikel Antonio for this game. He could decide, well, I don't know. Bobby Reed is on great form. He's going to start. And say Leon Bailey is going to start. So I may not call Jamal Lowe for this game. That's the coach's prerogative. And we must all understand that. All right? That's it. So, what do we require of the players? You and I all know that the things that we are doing right now, we could not wait on the JFF. We could not wait on the JFF to start these things because maybe they would never get started. So at the same hand, because I have friends in England, and if you know any of these players or any other player who have not listed, right? You need to let them hear this because there are a couple of things that needs to happen. If any of these players have interest, there is now a pathway. I know some of you want to speak to the head coach, which understand this, right? Imagine if there are 30 players playing in the Premier League, and before all 30 choose to commit to Jamaica, they say to the coach, we would like to talk to you to see what your vision is. The coach talks to all 30. Right? The all 30. No, the coach speaks to all 30 and say, yes, I mean, we have a good project and you're a good talent. Those same players may walk away from a conversation with the coach, believing that you spoke to me, so I should be in the team. I want us to understand the dynamics of it. So I believe that the coach may choose to talk to particular players, but he doesn't have to speak to every player for them to make a decision. So for the players that the coach may not have a conversation with, I think it is important for you, if you desire, to reach out. So here's what Manningsman is saying, that there are some players who are past players in the United States and America that you can begin to talk to, because the coach cannot recruit all the players, because all the players will never be selected. There are some players who will have to make a personal decision that, listen, 2026, Jamaica. And I'm going to respond, because I see people telling me, listen, any player, I want you to listen to me. Any player that Gareth Southgate calls or speaks to, Gareth Southgate selects for his squad. I am saying to you, Gareth Southgate don't go around England talking to every player that is born in England about his team. He only speaks to the players that he wants to play. There are some players that the coach may not have as part of his plan. What if there are 10 forwards? 20 forwards are available? The coach cannot speak to all 20 of them. So don't tell me that. Gareth Southgate speaks to the players that Gareth Southgate, will select. There are over 6,000 players who play in England throughout the leagues and in academies. You cannot tell me, right? You cannot tell me that Gareth Southgate goes and have personal conversation with all 6,000 players about being a part of his squad. You don't do that. So do not misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm going to give you a chance to come and explain yourself, but I want you to understand me. There's a difference with identification. When players are being identified, the coach don't need to go and speak to all of them. And he doesn't need to call them. The coach is not supposed to go to League Two and find every Jamaican player and talk to them in League Two. And at Carlisle Academy and find every player connected to Jamaica and talk to them. That is what I'm talking about. So you have to listen before you comment. Please listen before you comment. And because we don't want the thing to misunderstand. We are talking about player identification. When the coach is going to select a player to his squad, obviously he will have to speak to them because that's his squad. But if you have a pool of 8,000 players, the coach don't have to speak to all 8,000 or 2,000 or 3,000. So let's calm down, listen. Then when the link come on, we can come on. All right. So I'm going to give you a chance to do that. So there are players now. There are players now, right? Who you need to look at this. The opportunity for you representing England in 2026 in the World Cup are minimal. You are welcome if you have Jamaican heritage to represent Jamaica, because you know and we may not know. So I am saying to you, if you are interested, there is now a group of people who you can talk to who will help you. And when the time comes, the coach will talk to you. That is the point of this video. So if you are out there in the Premier League, in the Championship, and you know that the window is closing, and you representing England, you look at the future and say, well, at 26, I may not be able to make this England side for the World Cup. But 2026, Jamaica will be in the World Cup. You could play in the World Cup. We also have the Copa America that is going to be merged with CONCACAF teams. You'll get to play in that. It may be too late right now for you to make the present Gold Cup. Very tight for some of you. But you need to start processing right now, because at the back end of the year, we have Gold Cup coming up. Different and new format. And when I say players, I'm talking from 15 years old all the way up. There is now a way for you to move from, oh, I think I can, to actually be able to. Now, I don't know, because what I'd love is, and I believe that some players are afraid of doing this. Why haven't I been hearing some of these players, and maybe they have said it and it just has not gotten to me? Because it goes two ways. Like I said, if all of us were to sit down and wait on the federation to move, nothing will happen in a while. They are making some changes, commend them on that, but there are some things that must go on and be expedited until they start moving. So I am saying, in the same way, people like the Cataract and the Chris Simmons and the Coach Minzy and the Ryan LFC and the Formula and the Military Guna and JD and Unseen and all the vloggers and all the players, and everyone is trying to find a way to help. I am saying that some of the players right now, Ben Godfrey and Mason Holgate, connect with somebody. And if you don't know nobody who you can talk to, management have a way. I will connect you with someone in England who will have a personal conversation with you. In fact, here's what. You see, if you guys are ready and you have a group of you, the coach is Icelandic. I mean, Iceland is around 2 hours away from England. I'd personally get a group to get him over to London to meet with you. We'll work on that. Probably after the Guatemala game. But how do we know that you are interested? So indicate your interest, because we don't want to wait on the federation to get all their T's and their I's together. The people of Jamaica, the majority, I want you to realize, players, normally in these platforms, you'd hear, we don't want them and we don't want blah, blah, blah. You realize that? All of that, well, let me say it. For the most part, that has gone. And people have realized that we need help, not just on the field stuff, but off the field. So I am in the same way now. We are challenging the GFF. We are challenging the players too. We challenge the coach as well. And the coach has come out and said, we should not lose. This is what he said. Go back to the interview. We should not lose. We should not lose. We should not lose one more player. Yes, 20. I am telling these players that there are players who have accomplished more than them, who are ready to help. You have people who have played for Jamaica who are on board and ready to help these players. And I'm saying to you, don't assume that a Ricardo Gardner or a Wes Morgan or a Marcus Gale, or don't. We have this idea that because somebody lives in England, they know everybody. They know all 5,000 players over England who can represent. Why do we think that? Come on, man, let's lift our levels. So, do you know that I spoke to a player this week that he did not know that he's connected to Jamaica? He did not know that he can play for Jamaica. just let us just people, let us just please listen and reason logically, no man. Let's reason logically. To assume that a person knows is wrong. Some of the players, there's one particular player who did not know that he could still represent Jamaica because he thought the moment he played a game for England, that was it, friendly or not. So don't assume that they all know. That is why it goes two ways. There are players who will need to be spoken to, and there are players who know that need to reach out. That's not hard. All right? And listen, right? So I've gone 42 minutes. I'm going to I'm going to open up the thing, because listen, you know me, I deal with the faithful ones. I don't deal with speculation, and so when you speak, you have to give me facts about what you're saying. And if you did not start out by listening to the program, go back and listen. We had a program, for those of you who follow I Am Sure Sports, where we said we're going to form 4 diaspora bodies. 1 in the States, 1 in England, that have past players. And there are other bodies that deal with, of course, this must be approved by the Federation so that the players can have actual thing that says they represent. All right? So watch this. I've started out by saying these players in England and the United States were so excited. Meetings have been held and the thing is going. And I am giving you feedback that even they don't know all the players. And they are saying, listen, we are available. If you think you have any connection, talk to us. What is wrong with that? People are asked how you know so them to talk to this person. LISTENBEFORETYPE. I didn't put the U in there. So listen before you type. And don't catch an argument in the middle and start making comments. All right? We, the people, have decided that we need to stop, cuss and fight, and come up with a solution. Here's one of the things that management know. That talking solves nothing if action is not added to it. Because actions speak louder than words. No, obviously, people, if you have if Holland, Erling Haaland had connection to Jamaica, you think our coach would say, like our people be saying he has to, you know that you call him right away. You go and door and him knock. That's what we are saying. But there's some. Yeah, breaking transmission, people. Yeah. Thank you, Jason. And in the meantime, yeah, hit the like button. Jason says to take a break. Yeah, get some water, hit the like button, drop some super chat, super stickers. We're going to pin the link, right? So that I know Cataract probably going to jump. But like me said, that from the last video, the wheel is in motion. Things are going so quickly. Listen, like some past players were so eager to get on board. There are people already, I'm telling you, who says, listen, whatever you set up, we are ready to give monies to help with some of this. I am telling you, it is unbelievable the amount of resources we have out there. So let's pin the link. You can also call in, but please listen, people. Please listen carefully before you comment, right? And for those of you who are saying, what about this player? What about this player? What about this player? How you don't have? If I were to put all the players that I've heard about, people, the thing would not. I just selected some because I saw those pictures and they look good on the whole thing. All right. So that's it. So don't there are many more players. But I also know that not all players oh geez, how do I pin the link again? Sorry, where is it? Where is the link? Oh, this is the link? Oh no, this is the link right here. All right. Well, on the fresh cut. Oh, I'll go on them. Oh, tell me if the link pin there. Sir Messam, welcome to the show. You understand me? Respect. Sir Messam, the two Gregories are here. Fire, yeah man, two Gregories are here. Gregory Messam, and I saw Gregory Simmons as well. All right, so that is the idea. All right, so maybe you know for some other players, but wouldn't it be good? Wouldn't it be good to actually have like confirmation? Say yes, this player want, because the truth is, a lot of people when we come out, a lot of us we have no actual evidence, to prove that a person will or wants to, or that they don't. You understand me? So there's a lot of times it is just if they can, yeah. The Demarai Gray situation is all right. It should have been completed, but there's error in yeah in some of the paperwork kind of a stuff. Error in the paperwork. So let's hope that can be sorted out and thing. But like I say, it's two ways. One way is that there are some players that the coach, if like I said it earlier, if the coach here, for example, if a player that I like, Declan Rice, could represent Jamaica, I don't expect. I mean, I would call him right away. But there are other players who can represent Jamaica that he's not going to know, that we have to still find a way of capturing. Cataract, talk to me, because I know when I time you say you disagree, when I time you say you agree, some don't know if you're tipsy, so go on.
Morning to all the people, No, Rasta, why be have a tipsy, brother? I will agree with some things and I won't agree with other things.
Yeah.
But again, man's been listening, you know what I mean? But we take a break and jump in. So let me clear up the disagreement. The only thing I disagree with you about is that the head coach has to be involved with some critical players, right? And I don't think a man in the National League or in League 2 or League 1 or Division 4 in Portugal, the coach need to call him or her. But my view is that at the elite level, where a player could add value to the Jamaican squad, so I'm talking about the 25 players in the Premier League, right? I don't think that's a insurmountable number of players for a coach to contact.
No man, I agree with that.
So let's be clear.
Yeah man. No man, you and I agree on that, man. I'm talking like academy players and probable players down in the lower tiers that they still
The man said darkness. Oh Lord have mercy. Oh God.
Anyways, don't follow the comment section, man. Ram Smith I give problem.
Somebody talk about Polar Brock Ram Smith. So yeah, I'm talking about the 20 because I believe that there are levels to the thing. So the first level is the 25 that are in the Premier League, and I think the 10 who are regular first team starters.
All right, so I think I have. Let me. So because what I'm going to do, because some people may be wondering what we're talking about. So I have Tyreek Mitchell.
No, but you have to start alphabetical, you know. So we have to start alphabetical. So
Okay.
Aston Villa would be the first club.
Yeah.
So at Aston Villa, you're talking Jacob Ramsey, Aaron Ramsey, Keenan Davis, Cameron Archer. So gone 4. But some of them out on loan, you know.
Right. Because Keenan is out on loan.
Keenan is out on loan at Watford. Cameron Archer is out on loan at Middlesbrough. Aaron Ramsey is also out on loan at Middlesbrough. So that just leaves his brother Jacob. And we're talking first team players, right?
Yeah.
Again, if you go deeper. So Arsenal.
Aston Villa, where's Dwight McNeil?
Everton.
Yeah.
Why you jumpy, man?
Sorry.
So we're going 4. Arsenal. Not that so. We missed out on Emil Smith Rowe. There's nothing at Arsenal that I know about. And I'm talking first team and around the first team. Keon Edwards would be the most interesting choice, but I think the GFF need to put a petition in about people who have great grandfather, you know, to FIFA, because that'll go beat a lot of us.
Only grandparents it stop.
Right, at FIFA, but you can become a Jamaican citizenship if you have the documents for your great grandfather.
Do you know that the player from overseas that played for Trinidad, right? They had to do a lawsuit to get him to play because Trinidad stopped at the immediate parent, and he played because of some grandfather. Yeah, connection. The player from
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace that played for Trinidad and Tobago, because they won't stop at just the immediate parents, you know.
Right, yeah, because they have oil, so they never want too much people with citizenship. No, it's the truth. They have oil.
Where you get that from, Keter?
No, you never know that. They don't want whole heap of people with citizenship but now them have Polar Brock, so they would have begged the people out. For them oil soon run out. A guy and around the things now with oil, you know. You see it.
Yeah.
But quickly back to it now. Let me see, keep on track. So Arsenal, banana body. Chelsea. There's no one in the first team or around the first team of Chelsea that is eligible. You have this 5 players from the under 20, the developmental squad, which I think you can take them up lock, stock, and barrel. If you can get all 5, because they train week in, week out, and so they know each other, deal with the matter. Who is next?
After Chelsea, let me bring up the EPL.
EPL. I think it's Everton next in alphabetical. No, shucks. Brentford.
We passed Bournemouth, you know.
We passed Bournemouth and Brentford. How feel about
we passed Brentford and thing.
Brentford is Rico Henry. Ivan Toney. And I believe that Ivan Toney is the number 1 target for Jamaica, because number 9s that can put the ball in the back of the net can work. And I think his position may have softened because he's really been dealt a hard blow by the FA. You know that there's another leak about his case from the English FA. And
didn't they give him 6 months ban?
No, it's a leak. It's a leak document.
So he wasn't banned?
No. The document is a leak. Somebody leak it out.
Oh.
Ahead of this Nations League. thing, and he has threatened to sue them to find out where the leaks are happening from, because it's strategic leaks, because they leak before the World Cup, and now the Nation League squad is going to be, England reorganizing. So March is their Nation League as well, and him get another league. So Ivan told Rico Henry, we don't have to itch too long politics.
But you miss Brighton that have Levi Colwill.
But Levi Colwill is a Chelsea. Well, Levi Colwill is a Chelsea player.
Yeah, but he's at Brighton.
At Brighton. So Brighton, Levi Colwill on loan from
somebody
Chelsea.
just said Dominique Thompson at Brentford as well, but he's on loan.
No man, is he now fully transferred to Blackpool? Is it a loan or a full transfer? I thought
Jason says
transfer.
He's on loan.
Okay, my apologies. Dominic Thompson, left back, on loan at Blackpool. I think then you start getting into the quality issue, but fine.
Yeah.
Brighton, Levi Colwill. Bournemouth, Jadon Anthony, Lloyd Kelly.
Yeah.
Where else we got now?
So that's all the B. So we had C now, Chelsea.
Chelsea. Well, we said Levi Colwill, who is on loan at Brighton.
And Omari, who is already...
But he's in the under 20.
Yeah.
So you have the 5 under 20s at Chelsea. Silko Thomas, Omari Hutchinson, Malik Madasil, Dion Rankin, and Bursford, the under 20 striker.
Yeah. Then you have Crystal Palace.
Tyreek Mitchell, Joel Ward, and
Nathan
Ferguson.
Okay. After Chelsea, Crystal Palace, that's where you have now Everton.
Everton have a bagger man.
Yeah. McNeil.
Godfrey. Let's start up front. Ellis Sims up front. Ben Godfrey.
Mason
Holgate. Dwight McNeil. And Damari Gray.
Yeah.
But they just know that the 2 centre backs in the under 20 are Jamaican, the 2 centre backs in the under 17 are Jamaican, the 2 centre backs in the under 15 at Everton are Jamaican.
Yeah.
So all the centre backs at Everton from under 15 right up to the senior team are eligible for Jamaica at every level.
Yeah. All right. And then you have Fulham. I mean, Bobby Reid is at Fulham.
But Bobby Reid is already a player.
Yeah.
None that I know of in and around the first team.
All right. Yeah.
So they have a couple of lads in the under 20 and one in the under 17. But Delano Splat is there.
At Fulham, yeah. I think Delano Splat. Yeah.
Delano Splat has a Jamaican passport to them.
Yeah.
So I don't really count him.
I think. I'm hoping that I see him. I hope that they will let him. I know that some of the clubs don't mind, like sending the players. So I hope he will come for the Trinidad game and stay for the second Trinidad game and stay for and play holding mid in that game and do so well that he makes the squad for Mexico. That's what I want to see. I'd love to see him at the Trinidad game. Like for the second game, he plays in that alongside Ravel, to see how he'd look, and then make the squad for Mexico as a D mid.
Mannings and Qatar. Tennessee Lewis, what kind of thing is that? Delete that comment. Delete it.
Put up a super chat fast.
Delete it. No. Who's still interested? Delano Splat. Splat is an active secret agent. Enough of the little youth there, but you see come up for Anna 17 and Delano Splat, I would think is somebody who's worthy of being an ambassador at the youth level. Him really committed. All right. We're gonna itch so people to fall out. So we reach Everton, Fulham. No, there's nobody at Fulham.
Delano Splat at Fulham.
Well, he's on it.
Yeah.
No, but he already
But
has
he's
the passport.
already
With the passport. Right?
All right. So then you go to F. You have Liverpool, Leicester, and Leeds.
Liverpool, Curtis Jones. Reese Williams, central defender, who they recall back from loan.
Yeah, he was on loan. Yeah,
he was on loan. They recalled him back. He's on the bench. He's on the bench.
Yeah. See, you see why I think cataract. So let's. That's Liverpool. And what about the guy who did the ad for the jersey law?
Harvey Barnes. He's in the other developmental
Blair.
Squad. Harvey Blair. He developmental. Wishful thinking about Harvey Barnes. But Harvey Barnes is a good player at Leicester. You know? Really good player. Harvey Blair. I think he's
Chris Smith is saying that Xavier Benjamin.
No. Xavier Benjamin is in the under 20 at Fulham. He's not.
Yeah.
We're talking about first team players.
We're talking about first team in the Premier League.
First team in the Premier League. We'll keep it that way.
We're talking about 25 players.
25.
All right, let's go back to what we're trying to say. What Cataract is saying is that the coach should. These are the players, the 25 players who play in the first team in the Premier League. That's where the conversation is at. So we're going through the Premier League rosters to find the Jamaican who they have not yet, or they don't have the Jamaican passport. So we're not calling like Bobby Reed, and we're not calling like Mikel Antonio or like Leon Bailey. We're talking about the others. All right. Okay. So that's Liverpool, Leicester.
Although you're not sure about your spelling, you know, because E come before I, so but I know all Liverpool come before Leeds. Leeds comes before Liverpool and Leicester in the alphabet. You know, easy. Leeds. Joe Gelpart.
Joe Gelpart at Leeds.
Yeah. And I think you have a youth who comes on the bench sometime, Amani Miller. He was formerly at Aston Villa. But he plays in the developmental squad. But he come around, he comes in the match day squad sometimes. But Joe Gelpart.
Yeah. All right, Leicester.
Leicester without nobody. Without nobody at Leicester. James Justin has been capped by England in a Nations League game.
Who? James Justin is capped?
Yeah, he's capped. He's gone.
Okay, so he's gone. Yeah. All right. So then we go to M. We have Manchester
City. Rico Lewis.
Yeah. Rico Lewis. Only one. All right. Manchester United. I think they have a lot. They have a few of them
on loan, like Deshaun Bernard and Ethan Laird. I would put them there on loan. They're on loan. Deshaun Bernard, Ethan Laird.
Oh. Okay. Chris Smith was saying that he heard you say Splat. That is why he said Xavier.
No problem. No problem.
Saying that because Splat has his papers already.
He has his papers already, so he's not even in this conversation.
Yeah. All right. So, you can take some of the comments. So
Rico Lewis, a first generation Jamaican. Understand?
Yeah, I think his father is a Jamaican.
Father's Jamaican.
Yeah. I think his father
first generation. So the grandfather and have to dig up no old gripper, no old chunk.
And his father is still alive. So
yeah, man, they have to dig up no Dulcimania.
All right, then you have Newcastle and Nottingham Forest.
Newcastle, Jacob Murphy, Dan Burns. Anyway, why you check nothing with me, brother. Cause we call it I had about an answer for go ahead. Anyway,
Dan Burns didn't play for England.
No, never.
Okay.
He was in the in the mix. His name came up when they needed a left back when Ben Chilwell got injured, and they overlooked Tyreek Mitchell, and the whole press and everybody was gun ho on Dan Burns.
Yeah.
But Dan Burns is the tallest player in the Premier League.
Who tell her that, Ketera?
Dan Burns is the tallest player in the Premier League. Dan Burns is like 6'9". 6'8", 6'9".
Oh.
He's the tallest player in the Premier League. You know that the tallest player in the entire English football is Jamaican. Not really good, but you know what I mean. He played for Sheffield.
The tallest player in all of English football is
Yeah,
Jamaican.
man. Yeah, man. 7 foot tall.
Who is that?
I can't tell his name right now at the top of my head. He's born in Walsall in Birmingham, and he plays for I think it's Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, I thought it was Sheffield United who thrust out Tottenham yesterday.
I think it might be Sheffield United. Might be, but yeah, the man knows.
He was asking who is the person from Liverpool. Liverpool have
Curtis Jones.
Reece Williams.
Reece Williams.
Yeah. All right.
And
So
Reece Williams is a person who I know has an interest.
Reece Williams from Liverpool.
Yes. Has
All
always.
Right. So Keter, if I call you afterwards, we can connect him right away. That's possible?
No, it's we don't have a number for you, but it's somebody who
Okay.
man, I've tracked,
Right.
meaning he has made statements to the press about representing Jamaica. Right? So it's somebody who knows he's able to.
All right.
And
Reece Williams. All right.
Reece Williams.
We
Yeah,
go-
man. Me not really call out
people, as soon as the show is done, we go.
Reece Williams. First, we're going to go for Reece Williams.
Yeah. We're going to deal with it.
No joke.
All right. So we at where are we?
We're at Manchester United, Manchester City.
Right. So Rico Lewis at Manchester City, first generation. Manchester United have some of the players out on loan.
Deshaun Bernard,
Ethan Laird. Didn't they call back one of them?
I don't know. I really don't know anything.
They called back one of them from loan, man.
I don't know anything about Man U. I don't like Man U.
I think they called back Bernard from loan.
I don't like Man U. I don't know not more.
Can somebody confirm that with me?
Yeah,
but I think check
out.
Yeah. So that's Newcastle, and so Newcastle, Nottingham Forest.
Newcastle, Dan Burn, Jacob Murphy.
I think and then we said Nottingham Forest. Where we at now?
Nottingham Forest, Morgan Gibbs White.
Okay, Morgan Gibbs White. Only one at Nottingham Forest.
Only one.
All right. Then we have Southampton. Kyle
Walker-Peters.
And Nathan Redmond.
No, he's sold now.
Okay. Oh yeah, he was there. Yeah. All right. Then Tottenham Hotspurs.
In their first team,
I think they have them in the academy. In the academy. Like Casanova and
holy people, right? Oh, first team, Dane Scarlett on loan. Striker. 17 years old.
Oh, Ethan Laird is the one that they call back. Bernard is on loan in League One. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, because I know they call. Yeah. So there's one in the first team at Tottenham.
Dane Scarlett, he's on loan in League One. Soon tell you where. I want to give you all the Hey man said, boy, I'm walking database. If me can remember 6 million songs.
And then said,
which one to play?
What about Jed Spence?
Nottingham Forest. Oh yes. Jed Spence.
He's at Nottingham Forest. He's at Tottenham Hotspur.
No, but we forgot somebody at Nottingham Forest, which is Omar Richards.
Oh yeah. Omar Richards is injured. Didn't he break his leg?
Yeah, but he's still
still eligible. Good day, everybody.
And we forgot somebody else at Newcastle, Isaac Hayden, who is on loan at Norwich.
Oh, somebody just put up earlier that Isaac Hayden has no interest. So
who tell you that? Please don't.
Somebody in the comment section.
Please absolutely delete that comment. No, I tell you what. Dane Scarlett is at Portsmouth on loan.
Okay. Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur. Right. So Newcastle, it's Isaac Hayden, Jacob Murphy, Dan Burn. With Isaac Hayden on loan, Fim foot broke, or him out for the season, but he's there. And Omar Richards is at Nottingham Forest.
All right. All right. Welcome, Kimo.
Welcome.
Kimo actually just sent me something with Reed Williams, and he even have a Jamaica flag there.
No, but I told you somebody who has said publicly. Those are one of the players that upset me. He's on loan at Rennes, Jed Spence. He's on loan in the League One.
Jed Spence.
Actually, his name is Diop Spence.
You're saying that one of the things that upset your cataract, and then
no, it was Reese Williams, because it's somebody who, like Deshaun Bernard at the time, had said to a news media outlet that yes, he's aware of Jamaica and he is open to the opportunity to play for the Reggae Boys.
Yeah, all right, we're gonna make the link. We're gonna make the link. All right, so here we go. See, we have Tony in the building. I know Jed Spence mother. All right, Tony, we're gonna talk to you afterwards. This is the kind of connection we are talking about. All right, Tony. Tony, pin the link. Cataract still trying to arrange the fight, so you can.
You have to be clear, when a Jamaican man says no somebody, but you have to be clear that it's not in the biblical sense.
Yeah, we have. But
Demo, you really said that he's not a good footballer, Reese?
No, he's laughing because he's at Liverpool and he doesn't want him to leave Liverpool. So that is why he's saying that. Okay. Kimo, what's going on? What say you?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm actually writing down. I was here writing down some of the players that are eligible,
But I want about work with my mental database, and then sure.
Remember, this is an individual effort,
So people, this is all information given to management, but I want about it. Run go call JFF while we there for the ear and tell him say they can't. All right, we know these things. Okay.
Well, go ahead.
So what we reach now? We're just there.
Tottenham Hotspur.
Tottenham Hotspur.
Did we miss any from your list?
From my list?
Yeah.
I have both a mixture of both from the Premier League and also the Championship. What I realize, you guys are dealing with the Premier League.
Yeah, because specifically what we're saying is that because how the whole conversation started is that the coach don't need to call every single player.
Yeah.
But the priority should be like Cataract was saying, the 25 first team players in the Premier League that he may be interested in. Those are the ones and thing. Somebody said Ainsley.
No, he's cup tied. He is the poster boy for one and done. He is the poster boy for Gareth Southgate with a place Stocky.
So you pass Arsenal already, because that would be it.
Hold on.
Arsenal, who you have from
Arsenal again.
No, I'm not talking Maitland Niles. But for Arsenal, you have the right winger, Reece Nelson.
So you can add him. My information is that he's Zimbabwean.
So you think you would choose Zimbabwe?
I don't know. That is just my information.
What if the man have no Jamaican? I don't choose Zimbabwe. What if he has no Jamaican connection?
You can put it there, but me no I am just going off of what I know for certain. So if another man knows something else, I'm not the only thing, you know.
Okay. See, somebody is saying that he's from Zimbabwe.
Whoa,
Is it Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe.
Cataract.
Yeah.
He's not from Zimbabwe, but his
parents.
yes,
Some family is
his
from
parents,
Zimbabwe.
yeah.
But Shavada tried to say something, so
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, what I'm Cataract from. But they look for him up there much, you know.
Which match?
Don't jungle.
Oh, what jungle? They what now? So I have to stay away from the match there. Tony Hilton, I'm a brethren, the MP for Waterhouse. So that's a one game where you're not going to see me at the Derby game.
Yeah,
I can't.
yeah, but for like Deshaun Bernard and those things, I know that some of those players are the coach have them in their database. So like the reason why we're not, let me say it again, the reason why we haven't called those names is because they are not in the first team. So I just want to we know like some of them want to represent. Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Cataract. Yeah, Cataract. So Rico Lewis, I'm just finding out that he has ties to Jamaica. Thanks for that insight there. Has he shown any interest? Yeah, has he shown any interest whatsoever?
Rico Lewis' father Jamaican.
His father is a Jamaican.
It's not ties.
Yeah, I was wondering. Has he shown any
that's a big heavy chain. No, no.
Hold on there. Gregory Messam say I'm somebody have Maggie chicken noodle fall in the foreground. I want some chicken in the background there.
Yeah, man, I mean, man.
Hold on. Look here, we believe that any farmer missing any chicken, they pray their last day unit. The chicken wants to say something.
Until the lady was moving behind you and Madeline and posing for stop, you know.
Madeline, I've got ladies, man. I got the girl.
No, the lady behind you was posing. You saw the pose when she passed?
Which one? Which one of the ladies?
Because
I'm a ladies' man.
Manning, someone said Nelson family in St. Elizabeth.
I just saw that. Yeah, I just saw that. Nelson family in St. Elizabeth. Yeah.
Yes. So Cataract. So has Rico ever shown any interest?
No, not that I know of. Not that I know of. I don't have a interview or anything with him that says that. But I do know he's first generation Jamaican. What I try to do in my database, right, is I try to categorize players on first team players, and then color code them to say who is a starter, and then who is first generation as opposed to who is second generation Jamaican. Because first generation is easier to get a citizenship.
Yeah, because that don't take long. All they have to do is come to Jamaica.
Welcome to Jamrock, right? And first generation with two parents, like somebody like players that have both parents are Jamaican.
Or even the father, easier. Because it's even easier when the father is.
No, man, either one of them, it don't matter. Father or mother, you can get it. Lineage, it don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter. Because all the person need to have is their ID, a passport, driver's license, anything, and their birth certificate.
Yeah, and that can be done in Jamaica. Like you come to Jamaica, that can be done in a couple of weeks if you do it in Jamaica.
A couple of days in Jamaica, yeah. All right.
So if these players are invited to a camp, it makes it even easier because what would happen is that they could take even a couple of days before training to go and sort out that sort of documentation.
When they come, they just go to Pika, present the documentation, because I'm telling you, it is not a complex process. You just submit your documentation. They take it off.
It's complex when you come to the grandparents, Cataract, man.
No. I'm talking about when you get to Pika. They are just checking off your documents. They have a checklist. That your 2 passport size picture, your right money, your birth certificate, your ID, mother, father, hit that.
Yeah.
So it's not something that's going to take them the whole day.
Yeah, the issue is though, because I think the issue is, and Ian I think has dealt with a couple of these, is a lot of times that I've found is when it go down to the grandparents, it becomes very difficult, especially when the person is not alive. Because one of the things that I realized in a case that I had to deal with is the spelling of the name. And when, in other words, say for example, the person name is Jason Color, and it's Color, and then one go spell it Colour, and then the grandparent is dead, and you have to do the whole deed poll thing. It becomes very, I think that most of the times that is where the error is, or that is where the difficulty is, Cataract, when the name is incorrectly spelled in one jurisdiction. And sometimes we know why those things happen sometimes in terms of people getting documentation to even travel, but that creates a major problem. But like I said, once it gets to the peaker part, it is easy.
No, but Mannings, I've said this before. I respect Ian because he does a lot of work where this thing is concerned with passionate. But understand that there are multiple routes to a solution of a problem. Right? Something as simple as you can get 2 justices of the peace or a sergeant or inspector, what do you call the khaki suit police, can write an affidavit saying that Mr. Color is the same Mr. Color.
Right. So the JP normally can do that.
Right. So it's not, so you don't have to go deep hole. That's just one way. There's several other ways to resolve the problem.
All right. I remember in the campaign Cataract, we're trying to help player, but the birth certificate information from the grandparent had that they were born on that day and they were born in that place, but the name that they had was different in Jamaica than the name that they had in.
No, that one they couldn't work.
Right, so
that one they couldn't work. That is too far. That's a bandul. And we can't do nothing about that.
Yeah.
Right? You can't name Shirley and then name Patsy up there. That can't help.
Right.
But,
so that yeah.
No, so I'm talking about things that just have a slight error. But even a justice of the peace could do it, but I wouldn't put my reputation on that. Because I don't want us to get mixed up in a something where, because the justice of the peace could say, this is Shirley Keys, but everybody know her as Patsy.
Yeah,
So there are ways to resolve the problem. That's my thing. But when I want to run from where we did that do, because we reach a Tottenham. So who else left?
Yeah. So after Tottenham, I think we go to STUVW, West Ham, and Wolves.
So West Ham would be Ben Johnson. And Wolves would be, I don't think anybody left at Wolves. Dexter Lembekisi has a Jamaican passport already, so
yeah, and I think he's going to be around the senior team.
I really hope so.
Because he has been doing good at Wolves. Yeah,
I really hope so, and I thought it was what happened to him in the under 20 was unfortunate. So the earlier we get him, I think his enthusiasm will come back.
Is what do you think about Lovelace?
I would
for senior team in the position that he plays with the players that
Okay, so my view on Zach Lovelace, and as I am careful because I'm not telling the coach. I don't like to tell the coach nothing to say. Cataract said the coach must pick this player, pick that player, pick that. I believe that the earlier that we cap or bring Zach Lovelace in a Jamaican jersey or to Jamaica, the better. what I have read recently is 2 articles which are bemoaning the lack of number 9 strikers in England. There's a paucity, a dirt of it. I don't believe that Zach will stay at Rangers for too long. Teams like Southampton and Everton, once he starts playing in the first team there, I believe he's back on his way to the Premier League in Jamaica.
Who?
Lovelace. Because I don't, the article was saying that anywhere on God's green earth that Everton, Southampton, Manchester United, well, them solve it with Rashford, but he's not really an out and out striker. Manu, Nottingham Forest went back for Jordan, Andre Ayew to solve the number 9 issue to stay up in the league.
So is it a case where he already has his passport or it's in the process?
No, man. Lovelace needs assistance to get a passport. He really needs assistance.
So we're about thinking about the mixture of the future.
That is a player.
Present.
Right. That is a player that I think would benefit if the coach Hal Grimson took up the phone and called his grandmother.
What about the Prime Minister?
No, man. It don't reach the badness, sir. It don't reach that, sir.
Sure.
Something we can't tape. It don't reach that, sir. The Prime Minister need to call Ivan Toney. I tell you what. Oh my God, Man United. I apologize. I have lost the plot. People may retire for anything to do with YouTube. Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, but his name, Earl. Well, we have it. Yeah.
Well, Barons. I don't see a writing, man. I don't see a writing.
No, man. We have.
Mason
his name is on the. His picture is on the thing. I said from the whole thing started from last year. I did say I think there should be a little email just to say, listen, we don't know the outcome of this, but just to let you know that whatever the outcome, I thought like that should have been done.
I can attest to that because I remember management saying that despite everything, keeping contact so the player can know that hey,
exactly.
we are there. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Siobhan.
I can remember when you said that, and I say it was a good idea, but we're not sure if contact was made with the player. Hopefully, it was, because honestly, striker-wise, to me, I don't think Ivan Toney is interested in Jamaica, so I honestly wouldn't prolong that interest in him, to be honest.
Dima cover his face because Dima don't necessarily agree with the Mason Greenwood. Yeah, don't agree. Because he's saying that cataract, if it were he basically said if it were your daughter or your sister, would you still have the same desire? That is always his argument.
No, but my question to him is, if it was your brother who had been exonerated by the courts, would you want every employer to say in the only trade he has that you're not welcome to do your trade? So it goes both ways. You have to believe in the system of law and in the court of it. And believe you me, my view is, look here, he's a high profile black man. If there was even something that them could string him up and hang him up alive with, the Old Bailey would do that. I don't have no view apart from that. I just look at it like the courts have spoken. The prosecution, they could do anything that they wanted to do. I have to respect that.
Yeah, what I will say is that, listen, if he does something and he does his time, I don't have a problem. I believe that if a man has done his time for what he has done, he has been punished, because the truth is, the losses he has suffered, the damage to his reputation, the fact that he has not been able to play, it's painful. So Is it that he's ostracized for the rest of his life? I can't
Yes.
agree with that. There has to be a point when you say, listen, you have been punished enough.
The penalty was paid, so let's move on now from that. It never went unpunished. So no need to be lamenting on it over and over again.
Yeah.
Yes, we will remember it, but the thing is that, and most of these people who are lamenting on it, either they are biased or racist.
Cataract and Messama ask if you tape up the rooster mouth. I don't know if you see that. But if say
no, I
Royce,
didn't see that. Look here, look here,
where is it? Let me bring it up.
look here, look here. I have chicks, but they speak English. So I don't have no rooster at my house.
The rooster, the ceremonies. Where is it? But I want to get a next one. Where is it? I think
Shaban have a rooster, man. Shaban, yeah, make people. You see, Gregory Bessap. Look here, look here. Look here, look here. Don't start me up, you know.
Hey, Cataract.
Gregory.
Me and him son play for JC together, so guess what? You're not going to rush him. You're not going to rush him. Me and him son play for JC together, so you're not going to rush him.
I'm going to rush Gregory. Ricardo Gardner. Bless up your baller. Bless up.
Triple, you know, say a cataract foreground the rooster in a star. So a cataract tape up your rooster. He man say, the man in a deal with background, the man saying at the foreground. Yeah, that's
yeah, the man a star.
Let me just get a couple more because somebody had put up that we must help. Can somebody help Archer? Who was that? Mr. Galaxy.
Yeah, Cameron Archer, I believe that in terms of strikers.
No, he said that can we help him get his passport? What does that? What does that mean? Can someone? Yeah. He says, can someone assist Cameron Archer?
But isn't this a program about assisting? So I think...
but we don't know what but I don't know what is it. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, Sir Archer. So, Sir Galaxy. But if you let us know, then we can put something in place to help him. But we can't afford to. Yes, we are going to help, but
we don't know what the matter. But I don't know that he has any matter. I think it's his grandparents are Jamaican. He's from Birmingham. Is in the Aston Villa. They only sent him out on loan in January because he has been a squad player, always on the bench. But for me, in terms of the next generation of striker, he would be the most prolific in terms of his returns on goals and returns on assists. He's the most prolific of the strikers that they are.
Yeah, and I mean we have accepted players who have been in situations that were not favorable to them. You know, like I mean Marlon King played for us, Jamie Lawrence,
aka straight prison. Jamaican people.
I mean, even Ravel Morrison with his past still represented us and is still playing for us.
Man. But just because I think a lot of persons made Mason Greenwood wasn't charged for that R word.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't charged for that R word.
It was some assault.
Yes.
Yeah, but I see a lot of persons bashing them, but they at the same time they are okay with particular persons singing about certain type of actions. It's the same thing. It's still assault.
Well, I think the detriment podcast is something is that like when you have like sometimes these bigger brands, because remember there's a big brand that pulled their sponsorship from him, and maybe he is thinking about they probably think about what would the impact be on the maybe you have to give it some time on the recent deal that they have signed. Could that be a factor in it? Would they have an issue with it? I don't know. But maybe that is something to consider.
At the end of the day, and I agree with the sponsorship brand. It was Nike. It's Nike.
Yeah.
They did the same with Tiger Woods. When something comes up that hasn't been ventilated before the court of law, they have to take that action until you clear your name.
Except with Cristiano Ronaldo, a white man.
Oh, well, there you go. But a whole heap of man there jail, you know. A whole heap of player, Brazilian, which Brazilian player got at jail? Some man.
Dani Alves.
There's a whole heap of people. So, look here. If the man has been exonerated through whatever means, that's it done for me. The coach, for example, would have to make he's one of the players I believe a coach would have to speak to, and a coach would have to make a determination about, what's the impact of bringing him in my squad and such and such and such. But I recall the coach saying the following: discipline, hardworking. Not say go man is man.
Yeah. Team player.
Man, I think most Jamaicans are, my personal base of what I've seen, I see a lot of Jamaicans are split on the decision based on the club that particular person support. No, like based off persons that I've seen against it, a lot of them support teams that are against United.
Hey, let me address something. Listen, people, do not Cataract and I have been on many shows. Listen, here's where Chris Smith, you and I differ. For you, when you say a person from England supposed to play, everybody else in Jamaica who lives in Jamaica is garbage. Your perception and mine, you and I will never be on the same side, and no offense. Because I don't need to disrespect one person in talking about the other. So anyone who disrespect a player playing for Arnett Gardens, I'm going to have an issue with that. At no time did I qualify the qualities or equate the qualities. But I believe a youth, and everybody says that, a youth playing football in Jamaica must not be treated any differently from the youth playing in England. And I've always said that. My kids would go through this, so I will continue to advocate for people outside of Jamaica. But while I do that, I will continue to support youth who play in Jamaica because I played here. And anybody who feels like because somebody in England or the United States can play for Jamaica, nobody in Jamaica is good and nobody in Jamaica should play football, I will have a problem with that. That is where you and I have an issue. And as long as I'm on the podcast, we can't be on the same side of the fence because that is how you are. You are very moderate in this today, but there are streams that when I listen to you guys, the sort of disrespect, I can never call somebody's son, a 17-year-old person's son, garbage, and then we pack up on dash rate. I don't speak to people like that. Why you understand that? I can still say, listen, he's not good enough for the team. And still have an ex-player who I believe is better than him without being that way. The issue I have is the argument always get to how Cataract still live in Jamaica. It don't make because somebody reside out of Jamaica they're better than him. He must still live in Jamaica. I don't care where a man live, not because I am in Jamaica at this moment and he's elsewhere makes him a better person than me. Because where I am don't determine who I am. Who I am. Where I live don't determine who I am. That's the issue I have. And that will forever be an issue with me. So anytime I'm on this and a man going to talk about people at Jamaica and how the Jamaican them stay and talking about the look, I'm going to have a problem with that. At no point have I ever spoken about anybody from overseas not representing Jamaica. But here's the thing. If I come out and say I think Kaim Paris is better than Jamal Lowe, you have a problem because if my opinion don't agree with your opinion, I'm xenophobic. That is how you view things, and I'm not like that. It is okay for Pesa to say he believes that what's his name? Richard King is better than Ivan Toney. I don't believe that. I think that is madness. But that is his opinion. So I don't judge people for where they live. The people who know me grew up in a two toughest community. And there's nothing educationally, I believe anyone. I graduated honors at all levels. And I don't use that. So I will not demean or put down people, and everybody have them opinion, brother.
But people might argue that ultra race is not a
Keep
tough
on saying that.
community.
So let me say it again. No
Manny,
player, whether local or overseas, is picked based on where they live. It is their quality. And I will listen. Remember, man, come and beat Bobby Reed. And I was the first one to come and say, "No, man, Bobby Reed, oh, you mean Bobby Reed, forget call."
Of course.
So, Cataract have an opinion. Cataract go and get up one day. I mean, Mr. Butler have opinion. Mr. Butler believe that Dushan Whisper Richard is better than Kemar Roof. I don't agree with him, but that is his opinion. You think me come and talk how Whisper? No, that are the man opinion. You know the things there, Ishi. You know we got through it, man. You know we then at university I sell newspaper on street, Ishi. You know what the thing is. The people them know.
In Jamaica, you can't have your own opinion.
Yeah, so we must allow people, and that is why the space must change. We must be able to listen to a Peso and listen to you, Chris. And listen to you and don't diss Chris and don't diss Peso. You understand me?
but man,
Yeah.
I'm still grappling with the fact that Ocherius, the tourist town, is
No,
the
man, I'm gonna leave this
most
again. Come on,
volatile.
no, different. We think move, you know, but big up Chris because Chris has some opinion, you know, strong enough. I respect his opinion.
I think honestly, I think Chris is frustration. Chris is my brethren, right? But I think it's the frustration. So Chris, as an ultra, I would appeal to you. Make a work with the new coach and dial it back a little.
Cataract, tell him, man, Cataract. You and I work on many things. You ever hear
appeal to him as an ultra, just to dial it back, just a little bit. Make we work with the domestic base and the international base players and get the best mix that there is. But I think that Chris is upset. Give me a second. I think Chris is upset because of some of the things that prominent persons in football in Jamaica would get up and say, like, Whisper better than Mikel Antonio, or Richard King better than Ethan Pinner. And just, you're supposed to know better. Who know better, do better. Yeah. But I don't get into those.
Exactly.
Those kind of things, because that's not my job. That's the job of the coach. Enough man say Harry Maguire, idiot ball and done. You think Garrett Southgate business, we don't know. First name on the team sheet, Harry Kane. Harry Kane. Next year, Harry Maguire. All of them now play for Manu. He is playing for England. So we have to respect the boundaries of the coach and make it run with Lego. So I don't agree with that.
But management, we'll have to look at this.
Let him finish, and then you try me.
Right? But in the same way, I was upset when people would say, not because a player there at Arsenal Academy, meaning better than somebody when they are play Manning Cup. Actually does, because academies they scout worldwide. You honestly believe if there's a talent there, we must go vice versa, right? And split justice. So I turn to that person who knows himself and says, not because a man play good in a Manning Cup, meaning better than a man at Arsenal. So your argument don't really have no sense. What you have to do is provide the opportunity for both players, domestic and international, to display their worth and their ability and their quality to Jamaica. That's all I am asking for. An equal opportunity to access. It's not every player who play in the Premier League can go play international football. Not. And it has been proven for other countries, not only Jamaica. And it's just like not every player who say them good in the Premier League can step up. The JPL can step up to a national team.
Here you go. There you go. And we have to respect. I just go ahead, Shavon.
Yeah. Cataract. You know, in once upon a when I wasn't really that big of a fan of the JPL, I was one of the persons that was saying that I don't believe any players in the JPL is really good enough. But I honestly can say that I have seen some improvement in the JPL, going to some of the games and watching some of the live performances. I say you can find some players that are actually good in the league. I am not saying that they're better, but what I'm just saying is that you can see that players are actually playing well. Some players may have the opportunity, if given the opportunity as well, they can make the strive. But if we have better elsewhere, use them.
Let me say this, Shavon. And I'll say this. If Jamaica best players are available, I don't see which player from the present JPL can start. In fact, I'll tell you this. Probably apart from Andre Blake, Leon Bailey, and which is what I've always said, and probably low in some games. Who else you could say could start for
Deserve
Jamaica?
starting place. Yeah, that's factual.
That's
I think that is the fear that
Yeah.
assessment.
certain persons have, and why there's a resistance to. And I hope I can use your platform management because you said I must be responsible. You see, the brother will to write the letter for the Premier League player coming to the national team, write the letter. Don't make me call the name again. Don't make another day pass on that letter, don't go where it's supposed to go. Because I cannot stand by and have people within the structure broke the coach leg. Right?
Yeah.
So the man will to write the letter that need to get to one part over one part for one player that is essential. Please do your job. Good. And I think that's what upset Chris Smith.
Yeah. And a
In
lot of
terms
listen,
of,
hey, let me
but
tell you
Chris,
this.
me
Hey,
just
let me
want to
tell
beg
you
Chris
this.
Smith.
Sure.
Please don't
Get
call
her.
the local player them rubbish. Just
Get her.
don't do that. That beg you as an ultra to ultra.
Hey,
Don't do
get
that.
her.
Yeah, brother.
Coach Pinsy tell her, get her. Brother, you know, so me not put up one thing with me, You know, so me can get me ticket them, I'm going to match, Ketara. But here's the thing, Ketara, if me see nonsense, Ketara. Me
Yeah,
walk
call
out
it
there.
out.
No, me I leave because you see true. Me no want to see the end because I drive, brother. And me no want to crash on dead road because of how the football deal with my heart and my mind and my meds. So me leave and get some peace of mind. So the point I'm trying to make is that we know and and let me just say this because there are some people who I think they are coming around to realize that if we depend on the players who are playing in our local leagues and the coaches in our local leagues to elevate us, we are going to have
Problem.
problem. So here's what: until this improve astronomically, the majority of the players in our national team are going to be playing outside of Jamaica. When it comes on to real match, them players that can play and develop in some friendly games, like the Trinidad games were just 2 games that came up. I don't have no problems with the locals playing in that game because the other players are not available. I don't expect to see probably one of the players available for the Mexico game. I don't think we're gonna probably more than one if we have one. But I'm not going to say that they are not good. They're not. They're just not at the standard. They're
For the
not at the
international
standard.
level.
Yeah, they're
For
not
the
at the standard yet, and maybe they'll get there. Because
Yeah, they will get there.
Yeah, I think one day Whisper. I don't see Whisper as a starter in the national team
But one day we'll
over the
get there.
players that we have. But does he have the potential? Yeah, I think Kaim Paris have the potential to go far. I think Richard King, if Richard King goes overseas and start playing regularly, he has the potential. But is he at Ethan Pinnock's level? No. But could one day, if he continues to improve, he gets there? It's highly possible. But if I have a choice between Richard King and Ethan Pinnock, I'm going to play Ethan Pinnock. But I'm not going to say Richard King
Anytime
is
of the
not
day.
good. Because it's not a matter of him not being good, but for what we need right now, he's not the best choice.
So, but Marins, let me say something, if I may. Those are not our decisions and determinations to make.
There
A
you go.
coach is responsible to put together a squad. As I always said, me not beat that coach when him name him squad, you know. Me support. But you see, if you don't get the result where you forget, expect me to take you to task. Right? That is why, for example, I am patiently waiting. I saw his face pop up in our video round, our part round, our training session. Marion Gordon, face the public and face the press and not come in our country and slip in at Jamaica and just like everything all right, because you know it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Because I listened to your press conference when we were going. You said that this team was able to do the do. They did not do the do. You are responsible to come and explain to us why the do did not get done do the right way. I'm just talking about the transparency that we need. Because transparency is not only when there are good things, it's when things go wrong, you come and explain to us so that we can understand. Or, as with everyone that says, if you, in a Westminster style system, if you have the responsibility and you fail, you should offer your resignation. That's the proper thing to do. Let the public say no, don't resign, or your employer say no. We understand that there were mitigating circumstances, but you can't go and fail and then just slip back quietly and
you know what we need to do, Cataract? The next person who interviews Mr. Dennis Strong, the General Secretary, need to find out from him, after a team exits a competition, how long after that do they submit the report, and what is the
time frame for the report to be assessed?
Like right, so we can know what, based on the report of what took place at the tournament, what is the decision. There has to be a timeline. It cannot be just be open
willy-nilly.
Chris Simit, remember that I listen from the very beginning. I remember Chris Simit. This is why I'm saying that when Jamaica played the first time Ethan Pinnock played, you remember that whole trip and
but that is why you got off track. Because you were making a good point.
Let me just finish. I'll come back to it, Ketara. But let me just finish this with Chris. Hey, it's when Ethan Pinnock, I think we played the USA and them walk past him. And from that time, I tell people that this player was one of the best players except for those things and should always be in the side. So because I confirm that, so we know that. So right, so I think anybody who interview Mr. Chung the next time.
It was done yesterday.
I don't know.
Ryan spoke to him last night about it.
Well, Ryan need to call him back and ask, listen, how long do they take to do the report? And after the report, what decision is made, and are those decisions made public, or the decision? So we are not sure if he has been demoted, he has been shifted to a next transferred, or he has been fired. And what happened to the rest of the coaching staff? That is the level of accountability. So Ryan, somebody saying that he was on your show. Did you get all of that information?
Morning to the panel, morning to the viewers. Big up yourself, man. Big up Ultra, big up Kiva, big up all of the man. Big up JC, man. I asked Dennis Strong that question about it. They said they received the report from the coaching staff that went to the Under 17 tournament, and they're going to look over it. The technical committee going to look over it sometime next week and stuff. But based on this is not what Dennis Strong tell me. So based on my information, Marion Garden will still be a part of the Jamaican team going forward, but not to be the Under 17. He will get demoted. But he have a contract with the Football Federation, but he will still assist on Grimson. He will be the third assistant, so he will still be a part of the national team. In my opinion, I don't think he should, but that's what I hear right now.
In
But
my
Manings,
opinion, that don't make no sense.
Hold on, go
yeah,
ahead.
but
Hold on.
Manings,
Yeah.
remember me and you plan to do one thing tonight, So here the plan. I don't know if you remember, right?
Yeah, man.
So we are supposed to have Dennis Strong. So the presentation, I tell him that is you is the man going to respond for the presentation tonight, and I'm 100% tied on the president. So we want to have the president and Dennis Strong and a past football player tonight on the show at 7 o'clock. So I want you to present it to the president and Dennis Strong tonight. They will be a part of the show tonight, 7 o'clock. So
Yeah, what I
we
want.
can ask.
Yeah, man. I can
Yeah.
ask. What I want to ask is, if I don't know how it works, right? So if I've been given a task to do, and I come back, say it don't go well, I present a report. Shouldn't I like get some time off until that is assessed and a decision is made before I continue with the team? Shouldn't he like not be?
Well, Manning, I see him question them, Marks, Mr. Chung, because really and truly, me even bring up where even the players them after one of the game them that kids were getting blamed. And he said yes. He said he don't know nothing about that. That was news to him and stuff.
Oh.
So Mannings,
Yeah, but that would not have been in the report. Who's going to put that in the report?
I told him that you will not see that. And I told him that these coach lied to you. It's facts, it's true, it happened. So let's see what's going to happen. We have him back tonight, and hopefully we can tie down the president. I need to make a few more calls to make sure that we have everything, not to the T, to have the president tonight and Mr. Chung. But we know Sean, Mr. Chung will be 100%.
Yeah.
But
Right,
these are the things that we need to ask and stuff.
All right. So listen, I remember, right? I was able to a couple years ago, I was able to see the American team in camp, and they like when they are training camp in the States. And I remember I was also able to on one occasion see the Mexican team in the United States for a competition, and they were in camp. All right, Cataract. And I bring up this because I'm going to segue because we cover the whole player thing, right? And I want to get all of your feedback on this. That I saw the session, like the initial session at the Captain Horaceburg Center. What I want to know is, do we have somebody who communicates with the head coach, right? And he's coming in to have his session, and they go to the Captain Horaceburg Center and set up everything for him. Net, water coolers, all the stuff that he needs. So when he turns up, he has everything and the surface is ready. Everything is ready. Is that the team manager's job? Is that the assistant coach job? Or is the head coach who's supposed to do them kind of things?
Because no, it's the William job, Mannings.
Let me tell you what.
Finish.
When I saw when the Mexican coach came in, the man not to go on the field during the warm up and stretches, It's just like when they're doing particular things, he goes out, Everything net, everything set up, the bottles, all the areas are set up. He really does nothing for probably the first hour of the training. He sits down and observes and takes down stuff, and then in the little what you call now the tactical things that they are working on, right? Somebody comes over and say you can't video anymore, you can't do anything anymore because they're going to work, and he goes out at that time and begins to be involved. But it's like his job is basically to oversee and step in as needs be. I get the feeling like sometimes our national coach, including Coach Hal Grimson, end up doing some things that I don't think should be their portfolio. So maybe in other places that is how it works, because like I said, I only can speak from what I've seen. And that's not how it worked there. But based on what I saw, it looked like nothing with proper nets were on the goal.
All right, Manage, I don't want to take over the show, so make a quick point and then run off and things. So so that role that you're talking about, everything in place before the coach come, it's supposed to be the equipment manager and the team manager supposed to make sure that everything done. But in fact, I think the equipment manager them over the years for the national team, I think they has done a great job. But you see this professional level that you're talking about, I think we need to get there. It's supposed to start right now. So if a 5 o'clock training, everything should be prepared. Water, everything's supposed to at the pitch from about 4:30. So when the coach come, everything is there. And that's what I mean the professional world where the coach, you have the goalkeeper coach do what them supposed to do, you have the fitness trainer take them through warm up, all of these stuff. But I think the management that Rice Simpson, that's supposed to be film primary role, you know, to make sure that everything ready. And this is what
Rice Simpson is not the team manager.
For what? For the senior Reggae Boys team?
He's not the team manager.
Yes, he is. Yes,
No.
Yes, he is.
He is.
He is the team manager.
No, Rice Simpson is a general manager.
No, he's a team manager.
All right.
For the senior team.
Remember that Howard Juicy Bell was the general manager. Rice Simpson was the team manager. Juicy Bell left, and Rice Simpson became the general manager. So Rice Simpson oversees all the other managers, you know. Unless he's the team manager and the general manager.
Mannings, up until you do this video, Rice Simpson is, I don't know what a general manager. Rice Simpson is the team.
And Ryan.
It could be Rice Simpson. It could be Rice Simpson.
All right. Well,
but what I know.
So who is the team manager?
No, I am asking you, Ketara. You tell me, who is if Rice Simpson is the team manager, who is the general manager?
But never know so they have a general manager.
You never know that how Juicy Bell.
No, I know.
That's a long time. That's a long time. We don't know that everybody replace. But a long time that manage.
Nobody not replace him. Nobody has ever replaced him. Rice Simpson replace him as a
Listen, manage. Even if I him replace him, we don't have no team manager. Rice Simpson the team manager what we know about. So Rice Simpson supposed to organize these things. Him and the equipment manager.
Maybe that is the problem in Ryan. He is the team manager and the general manager. Maybe that is the problem.
He needs to come on. He needs to come on the program.
No, they might run catcher. They might run from the program. I can't understand why the technical committee and all of these people manage Merangard to come into the country. The night when they're traveling, he said he's going to come and speak to me. I'm going to speak to the Jamaican media first. So may I say, okay, no Jamaican media were there. So what about we? Jamaican media really, if I was flight cancel and I hear them at the airport I wait for big news, them don't really care like how we care. A full time now the man them start put some respect on our name. Trust me, bro. Because we covering this thing every single day, 4 or 5 hours. 2 hours you gone already, man. So come on now, man. The man come back to the country as a cataract and say, I want to hear nothing. Nothing. That's unprofessional, man.
Right. You know, cataract and Ryan and Kim, I need to figure out this cataract. I'm going to let you come. Let me just say this. Because here's it. Maybe because a general manager is, that means Rice Simpson manages all the other managers. So if he is a team manager and a general manager, because remember, Rice Simpson also manages the guy who just them Ramon Thomas, Roy Simpson is his manager, you know. The female under 20 manager is Roy Simpson is their manager, you know.
So why
The
you need so much manager? So
because
why we
every
just have
team,
people who do the
must
work?
have every team
No.
must have,
I agree with you. I'm asking why the
and then
manager
he is
need a manager.
because you have to have a general manager, one who oversees all the That's what Juicebell used to be. You know, Juicebell used to be Roy Simpson's superior. Roy Simpson used to be the team manager, but Juicebell was the general manager, so he would meet with all the managers.
Okay, well, I don't worry.
So I am a little confused now if you say that he's a team manager, because if he's a team manager, that means his function is as a team manager and the general manager. So that means if Coach Al Grimson want him here, he probably get 10 other phone call from the under 17 team, the under 20 team, the girls team that is away, and thing. Him can't do so much things.
So
if he's a team manager.
So we can agree to have that sorted out. I thank Ryan because my opinion, or to the best of my knowledge, I'm gonna know everything. He's a team manager, and to the best of my opinion, that is what I see when people to fly out, and that me sip on the piece of paper. And I'm certain, especially when they went to United States in Texas, San Antonio, where we played, I am certain I saw team manager next to Roy Simpson here. But then again, I might be blind. But we can just have it sorted out. We don't need to debate it and take up it for me.
All right, I'll try to find something here.
But I have a question for Ryan through you, Marines.
Man, go ahead.
The team manager, Ryan, or the general manager make it even worse. Because we went to Canada and it's regular citizens that have to buy some little warmer for go in the people in boots and buy them some little fur coat because they saw them freezing on the bench. And then now, 1 year later, players go to Guatemala for under 20, and then they call. Then they have no warm weather, no cool weather garments. Did you hear about that?
Is it the under 20 or the under 17 that's just finished?
Under 17 we just finished.
Under 17, Virgin, yeah, of course. The thing is, I speak to Mr. Dennis Strong and I ask him about that. What happened? They get some of the shipment from Adidas. I think next week they're going to get the whole set of jerseys. That's why you see the players them in the Umber jersey now training at the Captain Orangeburg Center yesterday, and I think today training session. They don't get all the jersey from Adidas as yet. Even the under 17, some of the jersey them print, some of the jersey them have a print in the under 17 tournament in Guatemala because of the shipment. They didn't get all the shipment them in time.
But I heard that.
But this now, when you're talking about in Canada, I hear about it where people have to, and this is the thing, Mannings. Roy, I really appreciate what he has done for Jamaica over the years, but for big man to big man, I don't think you're doing enough because there's no way we know that we're going to play a World Cup qualifier in Canada, and we don't equip to get these stuff. We hear Paul Hall talk about that, and it's like he go on deaf ears.
Let me read this for you, right? Shaw, let me read this article. This is when they were going to be awarded. It says Reggae Girl Khadija Bonisha, along with Dennis Howard Bell and Sidella Marley, were among 3 members of the football fraternity who were yesterday listed as individuals who will be recognized at the annual National Honors and Awards and Heroes Day this October 19. This is for 2020, which is 3 years ago, right? They will be joined by former international sprint star Merlin Atte, fellow Olympian Dian Hemmings, and Wella Swama champion jockey Emilio Rodriguez. Shaw, who was a member of the Reggae Girls team at last year FIFA World Cup, which was 2019 finals in France, received the Order of Distinction, Officer Class OD, for outstanding achievement in sports in particular, while Bell, the general manager of all national teams at the Jamaica Football Federation, what I'm saying to you that at that time,
argue with you.
right? So, oh yeah, you understand?
We said Joseph Bell was the general manager. There's no dispute about that.
Yeah, man. And Roy Simpson was a team manager. So
just seek the clarification.
Clarification.
Just
all right.
Seek
go
the
ahead,
clarification. Yeah. And we can deal with it. Because all I'm saying is that managerial issues have. Remember that the under 20s that I remember. Remember, so they never have no water for the first game and no igloo. Remember good, no man.
Yeah, that was the under 20.
Under 20.
Yeah.
So these things have been happening over and over again. But we are going to divert the thing and we are going to get upset. We just want to know who is responsible. Because right now, I don't know what happened to Fuzzy. I don't know.
So Ryan, all right, Cataract, we're going to figure that out later and get the clarity. Because we don't want to go down
a rabbit hole.
Yeah, a negative part.
We want to know what was the decision. We would like excerpts of the reports to be made public to us so that we, the general public, can digest and we can make our assessment based on what we saw. Because maybe, I don't know, maybe there was a strategic plan not to qualify because you get $7 billion US if you don't. I don't know. But we just need to know how certain things go. And certain factual questions have to be asked of the coach. There are certain questions of fact. And if I am not alive or if I'm not there, Ryan, management, I would like a question asked to the coach, Marion Gordon, on what date did you contact the agent and or parent of Zach Lovelace? And member say, people have call log.
But, Catara, this thing we're asking the technical committee, that will never go.
The executive summary, you have in every report, you have something called an executive summary. Like, me don't want to hear if but it's an executive summary that you make available to the public. It's something that's done.
Yes. After the
will never happen.
Right,
you never let me see that happen.
Go ahead, bro. Let me hear it. Go ahead.
I tell you that now happen, bro. Now go happen. First and foremost, you remember when Mr. Ricky Spear ran for JFF president and them asked him to provide a manifesto. What the man say? Man, they provide the manifesto, brother. And the people them say him not forget the public the manifesto because the public now vote for him, brother. I don't know if you remember that argument they used to big on radio, brother. And the man say, yo, they must say him not forget the public the manifesto. And the public now vote for him, brother. Equally, the technical committee are gonna tell us them not to provide no report to the public. Can the public employ them? JFF is not a public body, you know, brother. So we don't get that. So it don't make sense to do that, so we separate from that, brother.
Ryan, you're in the football field. You can give us any clarity
on what?
On the Juicy Bell general manager.
Juicy Bell was the general manager. There's no clarity.
And Roy Simpson, has he taken up that position? Is he functioning in both, or we don't have one?
Who, Roy Simpson?
Yeah.
To the best of my, I don't know for a fact, but to the best of my knowledge, I know that the managers for the youth teams
report to him.
In a sense, I don't know if it's an official reporting capacity, but
yeah, they report to him. They report to him. No, they report to him official. Everybody.
Okay.
They report to him.
Yeah, but I don't know if him have the job as like, Joseph Bell will be the general manager, like that assigned to him. But I guess because he's the most, senior, yeah, and him been around for a while, I guess him we
there to provide them like with guidance and thing. But I don't think there's nothing to hold him accountable. Let's say let's say the under 15 manager don't do something. You can't go to him and say, hey, oh, the manager don't do this. I don't think so. But Manning, give me a minute. Let me check something. I got to check something and get back to you.
All right, cool. All right. So Ryan, it's at 7 o'clock this evening.
Yeah, man, 7 o'clock morning. So make sure you're there on your best behavior when you present this thing. We need it to stamp and sign off tonight.
A white shirt, me have on, you know. You have to talk to the man in the baby blue shirt.
I white me I want to, man. So just let you know that too.
Let's talk to the man in the baby blue shirt.
So I'll be able to jump in that, brother.
The baby blue, them say the color me.
I'll be able to jump in that. It's like, no. I watch a program, you know, when a man I call a man boy, you know, and the thing light up. You understand? So, but a man call me the baby rasta.
I'm sorry.
I'm wearing a very light blue. Very light blue.
Yeah. All right.
No, man, but in all where we come from, so we went through. You can give us the total number of players that we identified in the Premier League.
From the Premier League, yes, you said it was 25, no, but it is 32.
It's 32. So
yeah, it's 32. 32 players in the first teams of the Premier League. So, but Rice Williams, we're going to deal with that one. And there's a person who says, Tony going to teach a boxing class. Tony says he knows Spence mother. Very good. Jed Spence. So we are going to connect with him as well. We're going to link Tony and see if we can make something happen.
I would like to add one player to that based on the fact that he was in the Premier League last year, and that would be Max Aarons.
Yeah, I have him on the...
And there is, when you spoke about Scotland, because it's the Scottish Premier League, there is Todd Cantwell, who is at Rangers.
Yeah. All right. Peso, so on to the championship. Peso, if we telling already, if we go through every player in one show, the show now got done. We have got to take a next day if we go through all right. Yeah.
The championship. You see the championship. Let me tell you the championship. Championship sticky, you know, because the championship have a lot of players who go on loan in League One and League Two. Enough for them in my championship. Enough. But for me, I think a strategic approach is start with the most elite talent and then see where you get with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what I mean? I read somewhere that the EPL, the Premier League, is supporting a paper that's to go to Parliament, to the Ministry of Home Affairs, that the number of points that you need for a work permit in the Championship and League One, they are going to reduce it.
Okay, that's good.
Right, so we hope that those things come to fruition so that there might be more opportunities open for our players. Right, they are supporting them for the reduction in the number of points needed to get a work permit. So I would think, but listen, if we get 10 out of the 32, if we get 5 out of the 32,
you're muted, Ryan. If you get half, if you get
wait. Sorry, excuse me, I don't hear what you said about it. But where you said I'm going to do the championship?
No, they are going to the Premier League have written a petition to the Home Office to reduce the points requirement for a work permit for the Championship and League One. So that means that you won't require to play as many matches
for your national team.
For your national team and those things. So they're reducing the requirements so that there can be more international players brought into the championship.
Okay. That's good.
I think that is it. Because if we get with the present play, if we get 10 more players from the EPL in our national team, 10 more.
Yeah, Martins.
Yeah.
Yes, I did that. I went back and did a check. So I saw an email that Mr. Simpson would have sent out. And you know, at the end of the email, it normally put like your name and your title and stuff.
Yes.
Yes, his title is the general manager of the Jamaica Football Federation. That's what is in the email. So I don't know if.
So that is the issue we're having. You cannot have the national team and you be the general manager and the team manager, because the general manager, the girls are out. All of that manager have to call you for everything. The under 17 manager have to call you. The under 20 manager have to call you. The under 15 going to be in camp, they have to call you. How are you going to take all of those phone calls and still focus on the national team? The national team, senior team, needs a team manager. And that is the problem. That is part of the problem.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, you have to need a manager for the team.
Unless he's trying to do, like I said, unless he's doing two roles. And why would he do that? Because you can't. How you gonna be team manager and general manager? Who?
Well, welcome to Jamra. Nothing new. We'll cover to the JFF. Nothing new. Probably don't have the money to pay for a general manager, so he's acting in two. It's not strange. You know what I mean? Not strange, you know. Yeah.
Irie man. Down here in Irie man. You know.
Welcome to Jamra.
Everything Irie. But there's a question, and that can be posed to Mr. Chung, so that we get clarity, because clearly.
Man, it's right down all of these questions and Katark, I said that's what you can ask Mr. Chung.
That's clear as mud.
Yeah, man. But thanks to that bit of clarity, Brian. I appreciate.
Yeah, man. Respect, Mr. Martin. You know.
So maybe he travels as a team. You can imagine, because when the Reggae Girls go into Australia now in the summer.
Summer, yes.
And don't we have Gold Cup?
Mm-hmm.
So where is he going to be?
I don't know, Rasta. Why man laugh? I don't know, Rasta. I don't know. Maybe where you can get the most air miles. I don't know.
Anyways, Cataract is over 2 hours in, but good job today. You understand me? Like I said, that those two players we're going to try and
but I think for the English diaspora, I would really want them to, if I may, I think there are 5 players that I would like the diaspora to really reach out to and give a full court press.
Yeah.
In convincing them.
Who would be your top 5? Yeah, give me.
My top 5 will be Ivan Toney, Lewis Baker, who I think is the most. It's delusional, but to help him to come on from illusion to delusion. Right? Nobody playing in the championship is going to play for England. It's never going to happen again. Steve Bull from Wolverhampton was the last player, and he was a disaster, and so it's not happening again. But Lewis Baker, Cameron Archer, I think those would be the 3.
Yeah, that's 4, you know.
Top. No man. Ivan Toney, Lewis Baker, Cameron Archer.
Lewis Baker, that's 4.
No, Ivan Toney.
Yeah.
Lewis Baker.
Yeah.
Cameron Archer.
Oh, you did say Lewis Baker, you know.
Yeah, man. Lewis Baker, Cameron Archer. And those would be really the 3 that I think would need some Levi Colwell.
Yeah. Like
Levi Colwell.
My priority.
And Max Aarons would be number 5.
No, sir. My priority, number 1, would be Levi Colwell. That is my favorite.
Is a very good left-footed defender.
Yeah. So that's one I would convince. Curtis Jones is the next one I would convince. Yeah, I rate Curtis Jones. I mean, Levi Colwell, Curtis Jones. I mean, I tell you who me rating.
Yeah,
everybody.
I got you.
Everybody.
Interested to hear your 5. Interested to hear your 5.
Yeah, and for me, the third one would be Mason Greenwood. I really would love to see Mason Greenwood. playing for them. Those three. Those are my three.
No, man, you're 5. Yeah, short change the thing.
5. 3. So that is so I have Colwell, Light Kelly. I like Light Kelly because he's a captain as well. He's a leader. He's a centre back, and you see Tyreek Mitchell. I rate Tyreek Mitchell. So those would be my 5.
But I think nobody need to talk to Tyreek Mitchell. I want a yard man.
What about you? Let me hear your 5. Let me hear your 5. Chemo.
Okay. So my 5 will be Levi Caldwell as well. You know, Ivan Toney. Yeah. Morgan Gibbs White. And that's 4.
No,
Dwight
man, 3.
McNeil.
That's 4.
It should be 5, right?
That count, man.
4.
5. You say.
Yeah, but a 4 you're gone.
4 you're gone.
4.
Count them again.
All right.
You Colwell.
So I said Max Aaron,
Tony,
Levi Colwell.
Max Aaron. We never hear Max Aaron.
Oh, so yeah, 5.
All right. Yeah. Brian.
Yeah. Tony, Greenwood, Baker, Oldgate, Mitchell.
All right. Yeah.
So
Professor said Colwell, Rico Lewis, and him say Rico Lewis again. Curtis Jones and Mason Greenwood. All right.
I never said Jones because I think Jones might want to wait for England a little bit.
So I don't think Tyreek Mitchell. Let me drop a bomb. Man, I think Tyreek Mitchell need nobody to talk to. Good. Is a player I would expect to see come. Let's say if we qualify for the Nations League next year.
But he's actually born in Jamaica.
No, not Tyreek Mitchell. No.
Nathan.
Nathan is too injured. Nathan injury would the injury is too bad. The injuries are too bad.
Nathan Ferguson.
Yeah.
Nathan Ferguson. But I'm saying Tyreek Mitchell, I think.
But I chose Dwight McNeil because there was an spoon. So
there was a what?
He already recognized there's an interview on Flow Sport Dwight McNeil. And he already realized that he's also eligible to play for Jamaica, and he says he's waiting for the opportunity. So
okay.
And that interview has been around since last year.
Demo says put up he says Baker, Tony, Greenwood, Colwell, and Rico Lewis. Demo says CJ and Colwell will play for England still. So he's ruling them. But he said Hayden would be good. And then he says McNeil can see him say Whisper is better. Boy. Oh,
listen, we're not gonna get all of these players, and it is expected. But it's good if we can.
5.
Yeah.
And players will attract players.
Yeah.
And you know why Ivan Toney is very important? Ivan Toney is very important because if we can snatch an Ivan Toney, other players with a certain
but of the players that we called, to be fair though, the players that we have called, any 3 out of those players confirm, I think it would inspire a whole bunch of others.
A whole lot more.
Any 3 of the list that we have. If you look at the most consistent 3 in the list, that would happen. Yeah. All right.
Don't think management also cataract. Don't you think it's good for us to get an UK base farm? So with the likes of the Mothersill and the Keto Taylor Harts and the Reese Williams, with along with some other players, and have a squad over in England.
to show them that we still have them in mind. They're not out there in the wilderness, think that we forget about them. Because the work can't stop, The work has to keep on on from now on up until 2026. Because yes, we have a
So
local base
this got
squad.
lost in the comments.
We
I
need to
meant if
go.
some. Oh, sorry. Sorry, go ahead, because you're breaking up. Go ahead, Kimo.
Yeah, so we need a squad. We need to go in the under 21 squad and a training camp and see if we can get a few games. Yes, it's hard, but nothing done, and likewise go in the UK and do that as well, where we have a lot of players with Jamaican heritage on that side. So the likes of Mothersill and the same Omari Hutchinson, which we are considering for the first team, but with Kido Taylor Hart, Reese Williams, and also Lovelace and all and those other players, knowing that their documentation hasn't been through yet. So it's good to have them maybe playing a one-off practice game with maybe a 3-day training session.
No,
but that is not going to be easy.
No, remember that some games you cannot all right, remember like you cannot use players that don't have FIFA don't allow you to use players without documentation for certain games, And the opposing federation can also say no.
Okay.
All right. So Mr. Galaxy, so if you have contact for him, somebody can help him. Ian said that he can help him, although Ian listed 6 players. All right. So Cataract, last comment for you, and then Kimo, and then we're going to close out the show.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just quickly, I wanted to say that it's not that I overlook Rico Lewis. I just feel that a player has to show me something for more than one season for me to sort of jump on them on that bandwagon. I agree with you that the 3, even if we get 3 or so, but my main point is I think it's in the best interest of the JFF. If you have an Ivan Toney or a Mason Greenwood coming to the National Stadium, let's say Mason Greenwood, I guarantee you there'll be 40,000 people in the National Stadium. Nothing else. It would be sold out.
I am telling you.
Right? So I think on the balance of things, those are the kind of players you want. Somebody who's able to be a marquee player for the team. But it was a good program. I'm glad to share my knowledge that I have. Glad to hear other man reason the thing. Tony Pugilist, if when him come back, they are I just say this and I finish. There are a couple of players who I've never been able to get any information on. Kareem Grant at West Bromwich Albion, the striker, and Wes Fotheringham, who is the goalkeeper at Sheffield United. Just never been able to confirm their thing. And I might need to reach out to Dan Burns. So Tony, if you have a link, please make a link to Dan Burns. Excellent centre back. I hate that.
All right, Kimo. That was
for me to touch on what Cataract said. Yes, the JFF have to not just look on this on one perspective, but on other perspective where marketing is concerned. And find a hard time getting sponsorship. If we can get a few of these players, 1 or 2 or 3 of these players that is well known to the public, I don't see any problem with the National Stadium being jam-packed whenever any football is going to be played by the Reggae Boys up by the National Stadium. Because we get everyone want to know there's no fans there. We're just waiting to see the success of Jamaica regular boys football, but they're just waiting on a specific moment or a time. But if we can get Greenwood and Ivan Toney, you'll see the crowd that we draw at the National Stadium. And this idea that you came up with Manningsman is a really awesome idea. And then I was watching earlier and I came on, and I'm sure there's a lot more person in the comment section or who will watch this later on. There's gonna reach other person, you know. They will end up reach out to you. Everyone realize that you're the big man now in a Manningsman. You're not just an ordinary person anymore. You're not an ordinary person anymore, you know.
Watch here. Watch how my chair can move. Cataract so big in can't move. See, one position the man so they get a whole time.
All right. So the aim for the betterment of the country, but I promise you, 2026, all of the hard work you guys have been putting in, everyone, each of us.
I think chemo freeze. All right. So
people, it will pay off. We just have to keep on pushing, and no matter.
Yeah. All right. So let me just say this, people. Big up on yourself, because we're going to close. Anyways, Demo, William Saliba, and Gabriel Magalhaes have played better than Dan Burns. That have nothing with Dan Burns coming to represent Jamaica, brother. Arsenal is I can have the players at the top of the league. And you go put Dan Burns up there, so brother, when them doing Dan Burns sometimes if you play a wing back, he can't make the centre back. Come on, man. Not because he can play for Jamaica means him play better than the one them. Easy yourself. But people, and the next thing, as we close the show, I want to say it to the JFF. Whatever the female team is doing, we need to take it on. Because somehow when they have a player from England, they get them their documentation in time for the competition. So whatever they are doing, you need to go and talk to them. Whoever is leading that program to get the paperwork done on the female side, let them come over and do some on the male side, because I can't understand how the female team can get all of their documentation for all of their players. Are we not hearing about any issues? We don't hear about a player. So JFF, talk to the person who deals with that on the female side. You understand? I want to thank Cataract and Chemo, Siobhan, Brian, Ryan, all the persons in the comment section, all the ideas. Again, this is not management. I said it before and I'll say it again. These things that you're hearing now, they're just taking shape and they are happening. But these are discussions that we have been having from this podcast start. Many of the people in the comment section have presented these ideas. Almost all the vloggers have spoken about these things. You understand me? And that's what we're doing. So it is our idea. It's not management. It's not I Am Sure Sports. All of us are a part of it. You understand me? All Chris Simit is a part of it too. Although give me a hard time sometime. You understand me? So big up yourself. All Peso, all Teddy Lee. Hey, people be telling us that Teddy Lee, Teddy Lee on all angles. You understand me? Watch out, you know. You know what's the Teddy Lee on all angles?
Teddy Lee all up on the radio station.
Hold on, what you talking about? Yeah, man, Teddy Lee is the head of the Jamaica Private Security, president of the Private Security Association of Jamaica, you know. Is Teddy Lee come up with a big petition, you know, that get the government to force security companies to sign. Let all security guards.
Teddy's a man getting it done.
Sorry. Them say you can't call him security guard again. They know they'll be security officers.
No, but big up our security officer. I hope them stay safe. The man them take a set on them, you know. Them just doing them honest job to earn money for them family. So please, demand them. Nobody kill off the security them.
Yeah, and I must say still, you know, from the start of the year, you know, the shows have been different. You know, you hear the heap of xenophobic discussions and those things, which is a good thing. So the space is maturing. You understand me? It used to be more prevalent last year. So everybody has grown up. we keep it that way. But again, big thank you to everyone. I am Management. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And you know, when you get to this point of the show, we say we are over and we are O-U-T out of here.
Boom, check it out. I don't know it's Jason. I'm a represent for I Am Sure Sports. For the latest news and updates, check out I Am Sure Sports. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe and share. Jason presenting I Am Sure. I Am Sure Sports.